Good morning, afternoon. My name is Tracy, and I am an art therapist, reality therapist, healing touch practitioner, Reiki master, award-winning artist many times. Uh, Worked at rape victim services and spouse abuse, a cancer center and a hospital for 6 years. Uh, they marketed me, or I co-marketed myself as an integrative therapist. I've got a lot of education to the master's level, art therapy for my bachelor's and master in science management, which I failed to complete due to a severe accident that caused me to go into a dark period of my soul. I've also been a state coordinator for children's rights in Kentucky and managed to get laws changed for children of divorce in the court systems and laws, and also helped to make marital rape in Kentucky a crime. Uh, I am a survivor of all abuses known to humankind. My mother was a narcissist. Um, I was the last of 5 girls, and I was told that my dog will make noises and bark. And her bark can be alarming, so I just want to let you know it alarms me too. So hang in there with me. She's a sweetheart. Also, an abused uh, soul, and she's 12 now. I adopted her a year ago. She's a Chiweenie, and wouldn't come near me for about a good month uh, without urinating in fear if I called her name or got near her. It was sad. So today she's a happy girl. I'll post more about her in the future. I'm starting a YouTube channel with a friend of mine who is extremely gifted, uh, such charm, and we're collaborating and bringing our uh, uniqueness out there. She also has survived much. Um, I started a business I called Healing Arts Place, 2011, something like that, and didn't have great success as what success looks like to most people. Um, Success to me is winning your self love, particularly those who were abused. I believe narcissism is a disease. It's bred into us, it's in others' DNA. Um, I've also studied genetics and cultures, archaeology, and anthropology. Um, I'm, I am so amazed at how the Bible frequently or always considers lineage is something to protect and to become conscious of every behavior that you do. I have incense here, so it's flowing this way. To be to recognize that you have DNA that perhaps your lineage has been um, gone in a direction of narcissism, and how to get out of that. I'm just now coming out of a 10-year dark night of the soul that Carl Jung discusses. I followed Carl Jung and wrote papers on him, about him, and I incorporate that belief, that science, into my practice with much success. I also worked in palliative care, and I appreciate those who are able to help families of deaf and dying humans um, through that trauma, the sadness. My sister had a baby when she was 16 and I was 10, and I took care of her baby. My sister just wasn't able. I'm not judging, I'm reporting the facts. Jenny had cystic fibrosis. She was a late diagnosis in the 70s, which meant she was not going to live for very long. And I will cry. Jenny's importance to me is important to you. Without her guiding me, because she suffered and never complained, she remained a loving sweetheart. I've been bitter, angry, self-medicated, lost. I broke out of my family at age 15 and lived on the streets of Detroit for about a year. I've written a book. I cannot publish it yet. I'm waiting for trademark legal stuff because I've created a modality of healing and I want to go public with that. It's formatted. Uh, a work in progress. The book has turned into a 2-volume creation, a guide to help you and your family get out of whatever is holding you back, down, sad. I fought clinical depression. I'm now off most of my medication, well, that medication, but most of my medications. I had rheumatoid arthritis, lung disease, secondhand smoke emphysema. I don't smoke cigarettes. I do smoke a little marijuana because it helps with my chemical imbalance. I don't rely on it. Um, it's to help me out of my doom and gloom, which I am free from. Jenny taught me unconditional love. Oh, there she goes. I know it. That's a fear, anxiety bark, and it is piercing. And she can't help it. Um, so understand. Thank you. My next, I'm going to do a separate uh, session with you about Jenny. I'll do that today. So I'm not going to change my outfit or anything. So I don't want you to think that I am. I don't ever, clean up. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? Um, I have Healing Arts Place information and my winning art shows and so forth. I worked with the deaf culture. That is a whole YouTube channel conversation, and I will share that with you later as well. So yeah, all the diseases that I'm working from the, as I was talking about, uh, the rheumatoid, the lung disease, and liver disease are gone. I just saw my doctor, and we are in awe. When I've worked on cancer patients, I had a beautiful lady who had cancer in her liver. She was 60 something, which I am now. And we had a session before she needed a session before she went for imaging. And the session was incredible. We felt a release. I usually put my hand over people I don't need to touch. Some people don't want to be touched, I understand. But we felt the release, and my hand went out. She was up on the table, and we looked at each other and knew something divine had occurred. She went for her imaging, and the doctors, there were three clinicians. Okay, that's her taking care of the house part. Good girl, good girl. I reward my animals for helping, doing their job, and her job is to protect. And she really protects me big time. She still won't allow anyone to touch her other than the vet and myself, but she's come a long way too. Anyway, this lady, her scans were up on the computer screen, and I stood kind of in the background and watched and listened to the clinicians discuss. And they were all speechless and looking around. And I wondered, oh no, what's the matter? And the doctor said, this doesn't happen. This never happens. And then they looked at me. They didn't know exactly who I was or what I was doing with patients. Being an integrative therapist, I provided counseling. I was for relaxation. Some people get very ill once they see the chemo bag. Uh, it's post-traumatic stress they suffer from. So I was needed. People need to help patients through their and their families through their trauma of. So anyway, when they looked at me, um, they said, "It's gone." My lady patient, her cancer disappeared. Overwhelming still to me. I had many, many cases like that. I never read a person's chart, never asked what they had. I don't want to know what people are suffering from. And I usually would feel it and understand what their issues were. That's the empath part of me. It's been a difficult journey for me. My mother let it be known at family reunions, at the dinner table, etc., that I I was born as a mistake. The rubber broke. Okay. And my mother told me in anger to my face when I was 18 that she knew I was a bitch at 1 year old. Okay. I was extremely neglected and extremely abused by her. And then it cascaded down to my siblings, my older siblings. Severe abuse of all kinds. Okay? I don't detail my abuse. I only stress that I understand the process now. Thanks to YouTube and my therapist, I've always maintained therapy. And education is key to healing all things. I promote education. I taught for many years, most age levels, from wee children to grown adults to seniors. Taught art and healing. That's my integrative self. I'm now doing art. I, through genetics, understand humankind's development. Through scripture, I understand why we're here. Christ has always been my center and always will be. I don't know him. You cannot survive without a belief system. Carl Jung stressed that in his practice, people don't heal without a belief system. I'm not here to preach any religion. I believe I've studied and been in many religions, about 7, and I found good in all of them. And I found the deception in all of them. Discovering how to recognize deception, I recommend the behavioral panel on YouTube. Their channel enlightened me and gave me a language to understand that it was validating. I'm very shy and quiet. I'm a hermit by nature. I find that being an empath is a difficult journey. And those of you who are understand that you can pick up energies and people will project, passive aggression. Passive aggression is very, very destructive. So I want to be as authentic, clear about my mistakes. Our mistakes are our lessons to overcome. And that's what I love to do with others, is to guide them on their journey, whatever that is. It's between them and their belief system, their creator. I don't appreciate witchcraft. I've had close relationships with people that follow that system, and I found it to be not the answer for me. I see the good in it as well. Harnessing the good in all beliefs is key for survival. Adaptation is the new survival of the fittest. Izzy, it's okay. She hears very well. She is very sensitive, and I admire her for that and appreciate it. She speaks with voice inflection. her Chiweenie body, her tongue is one of those dogs that have her tongue that's too big. Izzy, yes, baby, I love you too. I say mm-hmm a lot, and now she vocalizes that back to me. Uh, that's how we've bonded. Anyway, that's me in a kind of condensed form. Uh, Again, I am starting a new channel with a lady that I know you. She's got charisma. Um, she's a star. I am very low key. Don't want to bore people, uh, but I feel the need to share, and I will share more. Uh, my book will come out uh, maybe in a couple years. It's going to take me some time. I have to get IP attorneys to get trademarked for things. So I'm beginning an LLC, and I work donation only. I've been blessed living in poverty. I've had wealth, and I don't think money is our answer. True wealth is spiritual growth. You know, you can't take it with you, but you can take your spiritual growth everywhere, every day, all the time. And that's how we manifest through spirit, through hard work, self improvement. I want to begin helping children begin that base, create a structure for parents on raising their children, not how to raise them, just a structure that will safeguard their development, change generational curses, sins of the father and mother. Uh, I do believe that God is both male, female, and people that are are into different relationships with same sex. You know, I honestly believe that that's natural um, when it's loving, when it's true. Nature has multi-sexual organisms, creatures, animals, you know. So there are parts of scripture, the Bible, that were written in a time that was archaic. We didn't have the language, or, you know, we hadn't arrived yet. With the advancement of science, I combine science with spirituality and kind of weed out those belief systems that are harmful. I believe that this earth is a living entity. I believe that ocean is the feminine. She gives birth. And the masculine is the land, volcanoes. So we work in tandem together for life to thrive. Unfortunately, belief systems have caused our humankind to work from ego and fear. The Course of Miracles taught me those lessons, and it works. What is not love is ego and fear. Uh, it's true. Ego is authority over somebody, and we're here together on the same playing field. No human should be your authority, period, you know? All right, I think I'll leave it there and start my beautiful session about Jenny. What I unfold, what I explain, I don't tell to people usually. And I'm feeling the need to explain how I remember heaven. Okay? It's very beautiful. I remember being born, and I remember my mother said I was 2 days old. I asked her how old I was with my early memories. So they began at birth, 2 days old, etc. I have lots of stories about being a baby, and I'll take each memory and make a session with you on those things. I don't have my channel set up for monetary gifts because I want to do donation only. I don't want that to be abused. I don't accept abuse anymore. If you don't give, that's on you. When you give money to my channel, my goal is to bank the money and begin a foundation that is instructive to guide humankind. I want them based in cities and rural areas, and I foresee it going global. I found and developed a system based in universal law. I recommend you studying that, getting a grasp of what universal law is, the Beatitudes, to not just read it and think you're doing it, but to be not subconscious, but as Jung teaches, when you bring the unconscious into the conscious, and then you practice. Practice is how you get your DNA realigned. There is a gene for alcoholism, so that just didn't pop into the DNA. That had to happen through habitual abuse of alcohol, and it's a family trait, you see. So when you have it in your DNA, by practicing making it not happen by not drinking, you make that gene reverse into recessive state. When it's prominent, that means you are challenged. So I treat people based on their family history and aligning them with that structure to reverse their DNA. It's through your choice of behavior. That's all we can control is ourselves. So when you reverse those traits that don't serve you any good anymore, we drink or abuse substances. Sugar is really my biggest problem as far as addiction. So I have to reverse it by not practicing sugar intake. Once I get that withdrawal problem out of the way and I continue to practice refusing the urge to ingest something or hurt someone. And I mean, there are narcissistic traits I believe we carry over. So that can be reversed. My mother and I bonded a year before she died. I was out of her life completely for a year. And she was dying and came to me and asked me to take care of her through her death process. I was doing it for a living. And she finally recognized who I was. She knew all along. She knew when I was 3. I started healing people, my peers. So I began, or I was conscious of who I was very early. So I've just kept it silent because I was abused for it. I've been beaten up for healing people, literally beaten, because I helped people. There is a satanic force here on earth. That's why we're here. We have choices. And it's a simple, easy thing that we're here to do. You know, it really is simple. God made it simple. Einstein said, look in nature for answers. That is so true. He knew stuff. So did Da Vinci. I've studied Da Vinci as a child. Can't get enough studying him. Whew. So we've had high level beings here sharing their knowledge with us. I don't consider myself on any hierarchy here. I just believe that, well, Jenny taught me what I'm here to do. So let me get on with her, and I'll finish this up. I said that a while ago. And okay, thank you very much for joining me here. Please subscribe and comment. I don't mind negativity if it's done respectfully. That's why my handle is Respect All Life. All life. I have one rule, and it worked well teaching children. One rule: respect. It covers everything. So please let me know what you think and feel, or whatever. Just say hi. Let me know you're there. I'm coming out of my hermit stage, my 11-year hermit stage. As you can see, I'll get into my appearance later. I'm not ashamed. I am different. So just keep that in mind. Okay? Thank you.